The Jungians say, thus a word or image is symbolic when it implies something more than its obvious and immediate meaning. Today we discuss about the meaning behind symbols, their values, what we can take and understand from art, film, media, and how we can dissect these. So I hope you stick with us here on Circle Theory. Thanks for sticking with us. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, share, and you can follow us on Twitter down below, all of those links. I appreciate you sticking in, so let's dive in. Right, the Jungians say, because there are innumerable things beyond the range of human understanding, we constantly use symbolic terms to represent concepts that we cannot define or fully comprehend. This is one of the reasons why all religions employ symbolic language or images. Right, this is the value of symbols. This is something we talk a lot about in our series on Rollo May. If you haven't checked it out, I suggest taking a look. Right, so the ideas are really complex. Define justice. Explain it to me. Define evil, good, right and wrong. These are really hard. So we explain them through images and symbols. We create meaning in different ways. This is the power of narrative. It's hard for me to describe justice, but I have read To Kill a Mockingbird and I have an idea. And so there are symbols that we use to be able to represent this. The Jungians continue, noting the difference between a sign and a symbol. The sign is always less than the concept it represents, while a symbol always stands for something more than its obvious and immediate meaning. Symbols, moreover, are natural, spontaneous products. No genius has ever sat down with a pen or a brush in his hand and said, now I'm going to invent a symbol. These are things that seem to leap out. You know, if you study any great writers or artists, they talk about these moments of immense clarification where these ideas come to them, where it seems to almost be flooding out. That these come to life, usually through connection with others and events and experiences that all culminate in a part inside of us, which is what we're going to explore in our videos on you, is how this gets dissected and turned into a symbol. They mean more than what is immediately there. They have value beyond it. So the Jungians continue, in dreams, symbols occur spontaneously, for dreams happen or are not invented. They are, therefore, the main source of all our knowledge about symbolism. So this goes back to some of our stuff on Campbell as well, right? Where they dive into dreams, to the myth state, and the monomyth, and that explains some of this. But what Jung talking about here is that this idea that all of this exists in a different state of consciousness, that our conscious awareness is incapable of preserving and holding all of this. Rather, it is something that has to come out from a more primordial state of ourselves. This is the dreaming unconscious, as we like to call it on this Campbell. And so we continue from here, and they bring up that there are many symbols, however, amongst them the most important, that are not individual but collective in their nature and origin. These are chiefly religious images. The believer assumes that they are of divine origin, that they have been revealed to man. The skeptic says that they have been invented. Both are wrong. It is true, as the skeptic notes, that religious symbols and concepts have for centuries been the object of careful and quiet, conscious elaboration. It is essentially true, as the believer implies, that their origin is so far buried in the mystery of the past that they seem to have no human source. And so here we're diving into more of that, right? This idea, and so this is going to be sacrilegious to some, but the idea that these symbols are not from a divine being, that these interpretations, these prophecies, but there's something that is revealed to us through our unconscious that is plugged into this network of symbols, and that from that we will spontaneously be able to see things of immense value that exist beyond our singular perspective. They continue, but they are in fact collective representations emanating from primeval dreams and creative fantasies. As such, these images are involuntary, spontaneous manifestations and by no means intentional inventions. So this is a really neat idea that exists somewhere between a dogmatic and atheist perspective, right? The idea that there is it's almost very Eastern, which isn't shocking considering Freud was heavily influenced by Schopenhauer, and Schopenhauer was influenced by a combination of really neurology and Buddhism. But we kind of bring this together. I guess Schopenhauer wasn't really neurology, that was Freud, whatever. That we have these spontaneous symbols come to us, and we have to learn to open ourselves up to them so that they flow into creative discourse. This is the idea behind Walden, really, and Thoreau's work, that we need to go and separate ourselves from distractions so that these things can emanate and we can come to understand them. And so this is where we wrap up today. Again, if you enjoyed, please stick around, like, subscribe, share. It does help a lot just to give me a high five, right? I'm trying. So I appreciate it. I'll catch y'all next time here on Circle Theory.
I'm a type of motherfucker that'll check the check through the math.